Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you about another film that I believe is severely underrated, The Punisher, to the 2004 film directed by Jonathan Hensley, or Hensley, I think. Starring John Travolta, Thomas Jane, and Ben Forrester. Basically, the origins of The Punisher. Frank Castle, a FBI agent undercover who goes on vacation with his family, and during one of his investigations or his undercover jobs, one of his sons, one not one of um, sons of the mob, gets killed, and they want revenge against Frank Castle. So they murder his entire family at a family vacation, like a family reunion per se. They murder every single body at that family reunion. Everyone. That shit was dark. And the birth of the Punisher emerges. Now, I remember when I first learned about the Punisher. I remember my brother was telling me about it. He was a vigilante, a hero with no powers, just mostly just weapons. And I haven't read much comics of it. I read the prequel comic to this film. There's a prequel comic to this film that leads up to it, and I thought that was actually a cool comic. The comic, which hopefully if I still have, yep, the Punisher comic exclusive for the DVD. They actually have a little comic look of Thomas Jane right here with the artwork. It's a little small little page. Got promos of, which is actually kind of nice. I kept this. It was pretty cool. I saw this in theaters back in 2004, and it might have been my favorite film of that year. Thomas Jane, hands down. I have to believe he is the best version of the Punisher. I know there was Ray Stevenson, I've mentioned before, on the Punisher Warzone, and then you have John Bernthal, who's the Punisher in the Netflix series, or was, and hopefully they continue it because he was also amazing in there. Which to me, I think that was the best Netflix MCU show. Like, the Punisher was just phenomenal. But this film here, it's kind of more of a cat and mouse game between Howard Saint and Frank Castle, where it's I take you down, kind of like that, kind of like vibe with Blue Ruin, or just that's kind of the story setup for it, where both of these men lost certain loved ones. They try to outsmart one another and take them down. That's kind of what this film is set up as, Punisher, where it's more catch me if you can kind of movie. It actually works. You have Frank Castle, who, when he emerges as the Punisher, he doesn't fully become the Punisher until like the very end. You see him actually be friends with his neighbors to who try to shine a little bit of hope, a little bit of, you know, some love into his life, where none of the other Punisher films, actually not any of the other Punisher films, some of the Netflix series try to do that, and I think it did that a little bit better. But since this was a movie, I thought the characters were more unique and likable. I actually forgot that the actress who played Mystique in the Bryan Singer's X-Men is actually in this. She plays one of the neighbors who tries to romance Frank Castle and tries to, be um that healing factor for him, as she notices that Frank is a man who's really been tormented and hurt. There's some pretty funny moments in this film where Frank Castle actually kidnapped one of the henchmen, or I wouldn't necessarily a henchman, a guy seen as like a peasant to the Saints family, who pretty much helps him, give him everything. It's like, if you help me take down the Saints, or just help me get out of this situation, I will give you any information you have. And it's actually funny where there's a torture scene. He's not actually torturing him; he's messing with him. Of telling him, I will burn you with this little this blowtorch. You won't really feel the burn; you'll feel ice. You'll feel like the coldness to it because it's so hot. You'll feel the coldness to the when the heat touches you. And he like puts a popsicle in it and pretend like he's burning him by actually cooking a steak. He's burning with the popsicle, which is actually funny. It was a funny scene. I thought the humor in this was actually very cool too. It didn't feel overdone. It didn't feel like, it felt like characters, like real life people, were actually messing with people in real life. I thought the best action sequences were the final scene and the Russian scene where they had the Russian guy come to Frank Castle, uh, his compound, and start beating him up and throwing him all over the spot. There's a part in that sequence where I actually like, where Frank Castle booby traps his house and he gets thrown into the bathroom. He gets a grenade and tosses it out of the window, and you have the Russian guy with the crowbar hits it like a baseball bat, grenade right back at Frank Castle. He sees that shit. He's like, "Holy crap!" Jumps into the bathtub and it explodes. Luckily, he makes it out. He continues to beat him up, and then he takes the fight into the neighbors and he throws hot gas at him, or oil. Throws hot oil and it burns up his face. The Russian, and Frank Castle takes him down. There are some cliche moment setups where they actually have moments where it makes it feel like a western, like the Mexican stand-up part. That's all we've seen before. I mean, this movie came out in 2004, so at its time, it followed its unique trends of what was relevant, what was cool for a Hollywood movie at that time. For what they were able to do for $30 million, it was awesome. But I thought this Punisher, I think, was the more darker aspect of it, compared to the 2008. I feel like the 2008 one was more comic booky, but that one was more gory. This one was a little bit less gory, but it was still very violent. Thomas Jane, to me, I think this is his best role as the Punisher. In fact, I didn't see any other actor playing the Punisher besides Thomas Jane. He owned the role. He owned the role, and I actually thought it was a shame that they never ever came up with a full-fledged sequel. They came out with a reboot. They came out with a short film sequel with him reprising the role like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, however that was. So it was a shame that they never really produced a sequel to this direct Punisher film. I actually like that they gave John Travolta a little bit more um, something to do with his character, but I feel like his character wasn't unique enough. I feel like he was kind of like a standard villain, but I actually like that he was more, I would say, this kind of mafia like rich. He played it kind of like a stuck up kind of like rich guy, not necessarily like a mobster. So that was a unique take of his character. Um, but I feel like his character wasn't unique enough. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I really enjoyed this version of the Punisher. Will Patton was cool in here. I actually forgot he was in here. Um, he's the actor that was in Armageddon, and he was in Brooklyn's Finest. I don't think he's really a known actor, but I think he's more of a character actor. He's been in films for decades. Like he's also great in here. Um, Ben Forster. This dude was actually a unique character in here. He played one of the neighbors appears like he was freaking amazing. Like Ben Forster, amazing freaking actor. The Punisher, have you seen it? Comment below if you let me know if you have seen the original 2004 version with Thomas Jane. Um, to me, this is one of my favorite Marvel films. One of my favorite. I love this film. It's probably my favorite film of 2004. Comment below, let me know if you have seen it, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.